right, how we doing, guys? My name is Emmanuel Trench. I'm the VP of Strategy and Agency Operations. And I decided to bring on a friend. Teresa is the Senior Director now of Creative Programs at Cruise Planners.
We are a travel franchise organization. We have over 2,500 franchise owners throughout the United States, and we sell all sorts of travels. We support our franchise owners, so we do everything. We do their marketing, we build tech tools for them, and then we also have the franchise sales side, which is where Jules is heavily involved, where that is recruitment, so getting new franchise owners. And it's been just really a great success story, and we're looking to grow and do more with video marketing.
I'll tell you guys a little bit about myself. I've been with Trifactor for almost 10 years, and it's been a lot of fun working with Joel and Hugo. My role here is to provide a lot of strategic guidance and advice when I work with clients, but I also oversee the entire operation here at Trifactor.
Hugo Tabar is one of the co-founders and the executive producer here at Trifactor. Super excited to have our house filled of so many amazing people. Along with Emmanuel and Joel, we've been creating a lot of great stuff and learning and for the relationship along the way.
Hey everyone, Joel Wilcoxon, co-founder and VP of Creative Services here at Trifactor. I oversee our creative team, post-production, and a team of designers, animators, editors, to make sure all this great stuff comes to life.
Thank you, Joel. So why did we create Content Day? Everybody says content is king, right? But who creates the content? It's you guys. So you guys are the content kings and the content queens. I mean, when I think about marketing is as good as the marketer. Oftentimes, marketers will move from one company to the next because they push companies to be innovative, right? They push them and to think differently. And sometimes they can rub people the wrong way. That's what happens when you're a creative, right? You're just a little different, right?
Why are you looking at me?
And that's why we created this space, so we can be ourselves, so we can learn, so we can talk about some of the challenges. I've been there, going to, you're the president, I need money for this, right? Well, why? We just spent this and that. How many of you had those conversations? No. Right? All the time. Big problem, because you're kind of marketing like this, with your hands tied. So you have to get creative. What I'd like to do is just talk briefly about the state of video. I want you to think about just how video has changed, your interaction with video, right? Mm-hmm. How has that changed over time? I'm a 90s baby, I guess. 80s, 85, right? 90s. I would say I kind of grew up in the 90s though, right? So in the 90s, my interaction with video is very different than what it is now, okay? So remember the camcorders? Yes. Right? This is a very typical set back in the 90s. You would go look through the, what were those called?
TV guides.
The TV guides. The TV guides, right? And in the TV guide, you would schedule your life around this thing. It was like, oh my gosh, Back to the Future is on at this time, right? And you would organize your life around. I mean, just think about how things have changed. So the state of video, you have to look at the past to understand what's happening now and where things are going. So where are things going, guys? Do you have any idea? It's interesting, right? We have these new Apple things that you're supposed to wear. They're heavy, they say, and not very comfortable, but they have the Facebook glasses now where YouTubers use them for recording their videos and content creators use them. Would you guys consider yourselves content creators or marketers? Well, content creators are typically creating it and are usually also delivering it. There's a lot of different words out there. Influencer. Who's an influencer here?
Everybody.
I think we all are.
In some behind the scenes, we're influencing, right? Influencer marketers, though, it's becoming its own thing in the marketing world. So that's where it's going. Like before, if you wanted to get attention, you would have to get a celebrity. The A, B, C, D's, whatever lists of kind of celebrity to basically help tell your story. That's no longer the case. Now you have access to all kinds of people that already have their audience, their captive audience, and you can integrate it into your marketing plans. I don't know if you guys are already doing that. I think we were chatting a little bit about influencer marketing, and you guys are tapping into your franchise network for that.
Right. Because why hire a travel influencer when our travel franchise owners are the ones out there traveling, experiencing new ships, going all over to different destinations. So we're teaching them how to capture content, how to create the perfect video with different tools, techniques, equipment that they need, because they're all doing it. So why not have them do it and make them the influencers? Yeah.
Smart. And that's what you have to do when you are on a budget as well. You can't just pick up the phone and call Kim Kardashian, right?
But I've been in Gina's shoes where, in 2017, I was the only one doing all of this. Video marketing, social media, and then over the course of the year, I'm now a team of 5. What has worked for me is having relationships, with other companies and other brands that will help us as well.
And by the way, they have this wonderful convention that they put on every year.
We call it a family reunion. There's about 900 people that come in, and we invigorate them. We create at least 10 different types of videos, and we work very closely with Trifactor on it. So when the founder and the CEO makes her entrance on the stage, there's always a fantastic video that introduces her. And then I want to say about 13 years ago, I was like, you know what? We need to create a home office music video. First of all, they all hated me, and they're all like, "We have to do what? We're accountants, we're coders. We don't do that kind of stuff." But now they all love it because it brings everyone together, and it shows, our culture and how we really kind of collaborate, and we work hard, but we also have fun doing it.
Yeah. She really pushes it.
I do.
But then again, marketing is as good as the marketer. Basically, it's how we socialize. I never thought that video would be how we socialize looking back now. I remember when Apple came out with that FaceTime. People were talking to each other. I always said, this is crazy. Never in my wildest dreams, you would see that on the Jetsons and stuff like that, right? That you would be able to do that. So now it's not even just a marketing tool. It is a sales tool. It is an interactive tool. It is a way for you to do all kinds of communication.
For us, we're always testing. We're always trying different new products. And we feel that video could be linear to a certain degree, like you watch it and that's it. So right now we're testing out interactive videos. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that, but it really draws the consumer in, and they choose their own journey on how they want to learn more about your product. We're trying it out and seeing how well it works.
We are a HubSpot agency partner here at Trifactor, so I love their reports. And in their 2024 report, they said that for 5 consecutive years, video has become the most effective, the most admired, and the most consumed vehicle right now to get your message out there. They shared that the biggest challenge was coming up with ideas, because there's so much content that is being consumed that it's hard to come up with all the ideas. So in the report, they talk about how are marketers coping with that. So that's where you have to create a marketing ecosystem. So that's the first thing I want you to take away today. You need a marketing ecosystem of resources, influencers, people that will help you, and they may not necessarily charge you money, but you can barter, right? You need to create a little ecosystem where now you can start to pull as needed for different things, okay? So part of that marketing ecosystem should be your influencers, okay? Which can be your own customers, okay? In retention marketing, there's a term called the champions. If you don't have a champion, program yet, you should consider having a champion program. A champion program is going to be people that just love to rave about you. They do it all the time, and it's not necessarily, paid, right? They just really love what you do. And so that needs to be part of your marketing ecosystem, because those folks are going to get in front of the camera and they may do content for you, right? So it's okay to reach out and look at, okay, who can help me with what? Now, when you're creating content, you want to have a blend. Don't take it all upon yourself is the message. Think about how can you pull from your ecosystem. How do you reward, for example, franchisees that are willing to talk about your brand? I know you guys do a lot of swag, but you recognize.
We recognize them on social, and I think that's important too, because they're getting extra exposure, and at the end of the day, that's all they really, they like the glory too, being featured and being like chosen, and then we give them some swag and stuff like that. But I think at the end of the day, it's also giving more recognition and making them legit in a certain way, and they feel special.
Yeah. We live in a global economy now. You can now get consultants overseas and pay a fraction of what the price would be here. So the next thing I want to talk about are influence. Everybody says, okay, we need to do more content, let's just get into an influencer. And you want to proceed with caution is what I say. I think influencers definitely have a role in your marketing mix if you have the money. Pay to play kind of scenario, for different things, test them out. According to HubSpot though, these are the two that did very well. So micro and macro, but not mega. The mega influencers, unfortunately, you have so much reach, what are you really gonna do, right? With people that are seeing you from India or from other parts of the world. That's what a mega influencer would do. And so that's why it really needs to fit with, are you doing something local or are you doing something more national? Right, so that's going to guide you. But these are the kinds of influencers that did really well. They saw the most success from the 2024 report. Does anybody know Wistia? Wistia is a video player. I'm sure you want to use it?
Yeah, we use it.
Okay, so there's a lot of different players. I'm going to show you guys a few different ones. Wistia does a wonderful report as well. State of video. Obviously, they're saying 93% of people are using video as part of their strategy. Their primary goal, generating leads. Product education comes in second, along with adoption, and brand awareness and PR, top three. Okay, they actually analyzed over 90 million videos and over 100,000 businesses, and these are some of the results. What kinds of videos did they create according to Wistia in 2023? Mostly product videos, educational videos, webinars. Everybody's been using webinars for years now. But now there's some very cool ways to do webinars. Having a pre-recorded version, higher production value, and then at the end, Q&A, live Q&A. Have you guys ever done that? Okay, great way to just kind of sit back and let the webinar play and then do your Q&A, okay? Over here you can see most common video length out of this report. Believe it or not, 5 to 30 minutes. Okay? However, short form is taking the marketing world by storm. That is really where it's at right now, is short form video, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Shorts, right? And when you're thinking about shorts, some people think little stories, independent stories, but your shorts, and we'll talk about that in a moment, can be continuous. So you can have a full-blown episode or a full-blown series, and it's all connected with the shorts, okay? More and more companies are going to be doing custom series. Creating content is as easy as taking your phone and lighting up your camera and you can start creating content, right? But as a brand, you have to be very careful, okay, about how you're putting it out there. It's mass communication, okay? And so I want to first talk about these two concepts here. A brand voice is how you tell your story, style, tone, personality. Sometimes you can see a brand voice written, right? Copywriting, you'll see it. But some people communicate without having a story, a brand story. What is a brand story? Well, do you have characters? What's the set? What's the problem you're trying to solve? Are there heroes? Are you the hero? Or who's the hero? Because the customer is the hero, right? There's a lot of different methods to building out your brand story. Storyscaping, story branding. There's so many different types. But you need to have a story, okay? Now, you can't have a story, or you can have a story and not have a voice, which goes into volume, okay? You may be mute, and that's why you're not getting a lot of traction, okay? So the brand volume is how your story sounds and feels. So you may be putting content out there, but this is what they feel right here. They're not really jiving with it. There's no really storytelling behind it. Are you always selling? Think about it. Are you always selling the features, advantages, and benefits? We actually worked on something like that with cruise planners. We were doing a lot of video work, and it was like the same, it was like a broken record. The same thing over and over and over again. And I said, oh my gosh, Caitlin, I feel like we're saying that we're like a broken record. We need to really spice up the story here.
And then our owner and founder, Michelle Fee, I think she approached you also, and she's like, we need to tell our story. What makes cruise planners different? Because we do have a competitor out there who, if you just removed our name from some of their material, it sounded like us. But what's different about us? It's our culture, it's our personality, it's the service we provide, it's all of these values that we never really capitalize on. So we brought in Trifactor, and we had, what was it, how many, like a week's worth of hardcore workshops with the leaders in there. And then we came up with our 5 pillars of success and our core values. And now our convention is called CP World, which is Cruise Planners World, where everyone comes together. At home office, we're all unicorns because we believe we all bring unique traits and features to the company, and we bring it all together. So no idea is a bad idea, and everything is possible in Cruise Planners World.
The thing with brand stories is just a different creative way to sell, you know? Oftentimes you can get stuck in selling the franchise model, right? The support, the technology, and yes, there is a model, there's a business in a box, but can you say differently? I want to talk a little bit about players. So, does your player turn you on? Let's see, I don't know, right? So these are some of the players that I like, video players. Video players are gonna give you a little bit more insight into how people are engaged with your videos. Some people skip through them, some people repeat them, some people don't watch or ever go past the first 30 seconds of it. And so you wanna be able to see how your video is resonating with your audience. The bigger you are as a company, the bigger your audience is. So you want to be able to see that behind the scenes and make decisions about your story, what's resonating with them or not. The only one that's here that actually is the largest, well, the second largest search engine is YouTube. But most companies, and I don't know who, well, I know we talked a little bit about this, use YouTube as a repository.
Yeah. That's how we started because we didn't know. And we just needed a platform that we could then share the videos with our network, you know. And so we started, and we did that with YouTube. But, you know, as we got a little bit more sophisticated, as, you know, we got into more social media and more digital marketing, we're like, oh no, we're like totally missing the mark. So, you know, we're still restructuring and rebranding and trying to grow our YouTube audience.
I do want to just talk a little bit about the difference between a video strategy and a video need. 2 different things. A lot of times, let's say you're launching a product. Oh, we need a video for that product, right? What else would you need a video out of as a need? Maybe there's you need to train something. Oh, this would be a great video, right? So there's already a problem, and now you're going to do a video to help solve. So it's reactive. That is typically how people buy video, okay? But you guys, I want you to leave with a different chip, which is more proactive, right? How do we create a strategy for our company that will align with our sales process, okay? So I'm gonna show you 2 strategies that you can implement, okay? The first one is very well known. It's called the video sales funnel, okay? So your sales process needs video to support how the lead knows about you and moves down the funnel, okay? If you can plot out your sales process from the attract stage all the way to the bottom, and then say, okay, talk to your salespeople. Where will video influence them to move down to the next step, okay? So we have a few different options here that we have mapped out that are supposed to play a role in your sales process. This should be very easy for you to get buy-in from your leadership. Anything that's gonna tie back to sales should be a no-brainer, okay? Now, we have worked with a lot of different brands that have this very sophisticated to the point where they have funnels for every buyer persona. It is a little bit of a journey, but this is a great way to start, is looking at your sales process and saying, okay, are we having a problem with attracting people to our brand from the very beginning? Is it about visibility? Because then from there, you can start working on that and then tackling other things. With the attract stage, you see these circles. Not everyone's gonna go into your funnel. Some people are gonna get turned off. Maybe they have a competitor and they like their content a little bit more. That's where branding comes in. That's your brand story, right? If your content is more attractive and desirable, they're gonna opt in to your process. Video content is the preferred way to improve your perceived value. So whatever people think you're worth, okay? And it's also gonna help with engagement and keeping people, say, I'm really jiving with this brand. I really like what they're having to say here. I wanna continue in the process. Now, you have to have sales and marketing alignment. You'd be surprised. Sometimes I talk to marketers and they don't know anything about their sales process at all. Maybe an idea, but they don't really know what are people asking the sales rep and how can you kind of front that in the beginning and help to convert more qualified leads. I'm gonna show you a YouTube strategy. Here, there's an SEO component to the YouTube strategy. And I like the YouTube strategy because it's a little bit more holistic, right? Yeah. The other one is more sales specific. This one's like more marketing, but there's some sales integration here too. So we'll talk about that as we go down. The first thing you wanna do is look at YouTube as an SEO opportunity, okay? It is a search engine. So people are searching for different things on YouTube. And there are ways to find out YouTube has a separate keyword planner, right? Also, you want to do some competitive positioning, okay? If you find, okay, there's a topic that I should be ranking for, find out who is already ranking for it because that video format can be duplicated and you add your own little spin to it, okay? Look at their description and you can literally start ranking with them, okay? Now, this is obviously going to depend on how consistent you are with your video publishing. But if you skip this step and you just throw videos on there, you're missing the mark, okay? So start with SEO research, come up with what is actually competing for those keywords, then figure out come up with some topic ideas, and then continue to make sure that this is where you want to rank, and you create long-form content. So long-form content could be, everybody's seen it, podcasting, right? Everybody's been seeing that, those interview styles, but there's a lot of different formats. But have a show, create a show, okay, for your brand. Tie that to your blogging with your SEO, rich articles, publish that, publish the email marketing out with the new video episode, linking back to your blog. Do another article on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is its own blogging ecosystem, you know that, right? Mm-hmm. And that is very much SEO Google friendly. And then reconfigure what you did here for short form. Whatever you did here, publish it also on Instagram or TikTok, but mostly YouTube, okay? Ideally, your YouTube can also be used to support your sales process. So it says here, video-led sales. How many of you guys are using a marketing automation platform? Like a HubSpot or Marketo or Salesforce, are you guys using that? Mm-hmm. Because those automated emails that you create when people sign up for things should be including videos as well. So whatever you're publishing on here ultimately ends up in your sales process. By the time you have a mature, when I say mature, I'm talking about you have videos that are going up every other week, right? they're adding value. You can use it as a way to sell for you. People will go on there and be like, oh, okay, what else is here, right? And they're gonna start to see what format you provide. How do you come up with a show idea? There's a lot of different ways. YouTube likes formats. So, and your users like formats too. So if they're gonna consume your content, it has to be a certain style each and every time. Predictable, it's like a TV show, right? So make sure that your format follows a certain style. I follow this girl, she does, I try to keep up with my French. And she does day in a lives in French. She lives in France, everything's in French, but it's mostly day in a lives. That's her format. If she deviates from that, guess what happens? Unsubscribes. So yes, viewership falls, but the metric in addition to that is unsubscribes. You want the holy grail of YouTube is more subscribers, right? Because they're gonna start to see your content over and over again. That's why the format has to be agreeable. It has to be something that they want to consume. So here's some other ones, right? We have the unboxing, travel experiences, before and after. So whatever you come up with for your show has to be aligned with sales though. Keep that in mind. It has to link back to your site. It has to have an ROI component to it. So it can't be too far off from what you do, but it shouldn't be you selling each and every episode. What would you do for Tin World? Real quick, for a show.
We want to start doing the strategy where we're not selling by directly selling. We want to educate. So show where we educate on the value of all these services, like the benefits of PPF or the benefits of window tinting.
Exactly.
Things that people normally wouldn't know about it.
And there are a lot of car enthusiasts, right, that are changing up their cars all the time, and why the tint, why they chose this tint. There's a lot of content material that you can do that. That's a whole show, right? Car makeovers. Right? Even if it's not directly tied to the windows, it's still relevant. So it still makes sense. The wider your funnel is, the better.